sure.
All right. Welcome again to the Dad Tribe podcast. Everybody there in the cameras. This is JC. I am an entrepreneur, a business owner, owner of, or co-founder and co-owner of Cultura Media, father, friend to John, and brother-in-law to Robby Ramos.
Yep, I'm John. I'm the partner here, the other half of the Dad Tribe podcast.
Yes,
also a dad, entrepreneur, personal trainer, health guru, if you want to go that far.
Definitely a health guru.
Yeah,
sure.
And all that good stuff. And we are, like you said, joined today by the wonderful and amazing Robby Ramos.
Thank
Please,
you.
Robby.
Yeah, who knows what the fuck it is these days?
Literally nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
But John's fighting to stay awake. So I'm honored that you would.
for sure.
It's 3:40 in the afternoon, and I'm starting.
Just fucking fighting to stay up, dude. No, but thank you guys, man, for having me on. And yeah, dude, there's no better topic than I think the one we're gonna be discussing today about fatherhood. So I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. Obviously, the relationship that we have, and seeing you become a father, seeing you, from New York, go through your career, and then becoming a father, and your relationship with my sister and with Janessa, and how that's blossomed, and now to have 3 girls, which is just nuts. Congratulations.
Thank
but
you.
it's nuts.
Thank you. It is.
but it's a beautiful thing, and obviously Ruby Rose was just born a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ruby Rose.
Ruby Rose.
Oh, what a fantastic name.
A couple
Thank
weeks
you,
ago.
man.
So cheers to that. And I want to start off. There's a lot of things that I want to talk to you about. But I have a moment captured in my mind. We were talking about it today on the car ride over here. I have a moment captured in my mind of, and I get emotional because this is a great moment of you. It was Vienna being born. I'm pretty sure it was Vienna. Vienna being born. And I think you flew in that night or the night before, something like that. But what I clearly remember is Vienna being born, and you the morning after, literally her being born, having to leave to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember texting you that morning, telling you, hey, I know this probably hurts and whatever, but you're doing the right thing. You're providing for your family, whatever. And that moment stays captured in my mind. I've always wanted to ask you, because we've never talked about it. And this is a great way to start. What the hell was going through your mind, dude? Because it's your first child.
Yeah.
It's a big moment in your life. I know I know what family means to you. I know what your kids mean to you. And I know that's the number one thing in your life. What the hell was going through your mind? And what are you telling yourself at that moment? Because as an entrepreneur, as a father, like, I know that battle. I know that I'm doing the right thing for my family. This is not only my career, but I'm doing the right thing for my family. But fuck, man, like, I want to be there for my wife and for my kids. So I want to know what the hell was going through your mind, because I can imagine there was 1,000 things going through your mind.
For sure, man. I mean, to put it in context, like, that job that I went off to go do was the biggest job I had up to that date, right?
Heels, go
So
watch it on Netflix.
Yeah, Heels on Netflix. Watch it now.
I was waiting for who was going to plug it. I was like, who's going to do it?
And it was season 1 of that show. So, and it was smack in the middle of us filming that show. So it was, there was a lot going on in my life at that time. Like, I was, like I said, trying to figure out how to keep my job, right? When you first get into TV, you're just trying to figure out how to get fired. That's kind of the game plan, because there's no amount of acting classes or even theater that you can do that prepares you to be on set with cameras like this, with lights like this, and the budget is fucking $1 million to shoot one fucking episode, And there's a pressure that comes with that I had never experienced up to that date. So I say all of that to kind of contextualize where my mind was at that time. Aside from that, then I had spent maybe the last, I want to say, like 6 months of Janessa's pregnancy with our first kid, back and forth, right? And she would come up to Atlanta every once in a while and then come back down. So it was a lot there, dude. And then I fucking drive in from Atlanta the day before the Vienna's birth, and they allowed me to go for just a couple days. Thank God they did, because I mean, again, scheduling and all these things. It's insane that they even let me do it, but they let me go. I fucking drive whatever that is, 10 hours, whatever, get down to Miami.
At least.
I get down to Miami, like I want to say, bro, I don't even remember because I think I drove at night and everything. It was like a red eye drive.
Yeah,
dude.
it was like a fever dream. You're just like, I don't even know where I am, bro.
Yeah, so I get in there. Then it's like, Janessa's feeling terrible at that point because she's ready to just like get this thing over with. We go in, there's a C-section. Now the baby's here. There's crying involved. There's blood. There is tears. There is worry. There is, why is everyone touching the baby and what the fuck's going on? You don't know how to deal with that energy. And then it's
I struggled with that
now, dude.
Bad. Yeah, I struggled with it too.
People don't talk about that shit enough.
No, they
like,
don't talk
bro,
about it. The first
gotta-
time, like the doctor and a lot of times they have to like hit them. They,
yeah.
They know what they're doing, but you're like, what the fucking slap my baby? What the fuck are you doing? Dude. That's a weird moment.
No,
like,
it
you
is,
don't
it is,
know
it
how to work it because it's like your baby. Like, don't touch my baby.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
It's weird.
Not to derail your story, but you guys are 100% right. And the only reason I didn't have that thing is that Megan was so over prepared that she told me like, hey, when they take the baby,
They're gonna slap the fuck out of the baby.
Well, they're gonna take the baby, but
Yeah.
like they get to hold the baby before we get to hold the baby, and,
Right.
and a lot of people aren't prepared for that. And you're like expecting like baby comes out, comes to parents,
Yes.
but it doesn't. And yeah. So the only reason I wasn't freaking out, I was just like, okay. She looks all right. She's crying. All right, she's breathing. All right, that's good enough for me. Bring her over when she's ready. Like I was just like,
That was a weird moment for me. I didn't know
It
how
is,
to,
but as dads too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because you're so fucking, even like right out the gate, you're protective of this baby. And so that happens. I'm trying to like kind of remind myself what happened because it is kind of a blur, that first birth for me. It was, I mean, like I said, I was completely overwhelmed with life in general. So once Vienna's out, everything's fine. I remember texting people like, hey, does this anxiety of whether the baby's like breathing or not ever go away? Like, what the fuck's going on? I remember.
Yeah, those first nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Right.
It doesn't.
yeah.
So it was a C-section. So
Yeah.
I stayed, I think it was, they allowed me to stay a couple days until Janessa went home, actually, which again, dude, my job, the fact that they allowed me to do that. So until Janessa went home, so I'm thinking like 2 days sleeping on that bullshit couch. Can we talk about that shit,
That's
dude?
terrible.
Bro, they fucking
I
know.
tried to talk about it, and they have come after me in the comments.
Really?
Yeah, well, the moms have, and
I'm
I
gonna
get it. I
fucking-
get
no,
it,
dude.
I get it.
Our wives specifically.
Yes.
Just
Okay,
so
I
you
see, I
know.
see, right.
Our wives
I don't
specifically.
disagree with you, and yes, it is a bullshit couch. It's hard as a rock.
Listen, dude.
Yeah.
I understand that the dad is like an afterthought in the goddamn hospital room, but god damn it. Dude.
Yeah. It's terrible.
Fucking put a couch there that, at least reclines a little bit. Like I know at your hospital, because we just had our
Mercy,
third baby,
yeah.
and they do
Yeah,
have
yeah,
they have better
They
shit.
have a nice,
But dude, like at South Miami Hospital, I
Yeah.
was like, what is this?
Which Mercy, the maternal ward at Mercy is really nice. The rooms are big.
Yeah.
The views are amazing. Like,
yeah. No,
we
it's
had a really good time.
It's a better setup. We had a really good time. the service.
The service is
the
great.
complimentary wine.
Hospitality was great.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
yeah, well, no, we came went in, we came out with a really good time.
Amazing.
This isn't fucking
The
Disney
amenities
World,
are great,
bro.
you know? The pool is cool.
Oh,
There's
I
a little
can't wait for
cafe in
my-
the bottom, bro.
I can't
They
wait
do.
for
They
Monty
have a
to hear
cafe
that
in
you
the
said
bottom.
that.
Like, it
Oh,
really
my
is.
God.
We had a good
It's true.
time.
Well,
Sorry, wait. I say that because hold up. I say that, and Mari would agree. I say that because when we had Braden, it was the middle of COVID or middle to end of COVID, and they weren't allowing people inside of the hospital outside of obviously you and the mom, and we loved it. Like we talk about it all the time. Like for us to not have anybody else, it was just us. We were able to focus on us. The service, the nurses, everything about Mercy was really good. Was really top of the line. And we really did. We had a good time. Like we talk about it all the time. How like we were able to bond with Braden, but with ourselves too. Because nobody talks about that either. It's like those next couple of days for the mom. It's just like fuck. You know, they don't feel good. They're like freaking out.
Even longer than that. But yeah, those initial couple of days where you're side by side like
and that can be overwhelming. Having
Yeah.
family, having your mom, your dad, your this, your that, whatever, that gets overwhelming. And especially in a Hispanic family, dude. Like you'll have 25 people in the room if they could. You know, so to not have anybody. And to just be us, focusing on us and enjoying us was great for us. Like we really did have a good time. That's why I say a good time because we talk about that all the time. So yes, but that was a good laugh. Go ahead.
So the next baby, you're not gonna have as much free time. Yeah.
No, we actually said that the next baby we're gonna follow the same rules.
No, you're not.
100%.
Everyone's showing up. So
we're crashing.
Don't be an asshole. Listen, I speak for the rest of the family. Don't be an asshole. But anyways, yeah. Dude, I if I'm being completely honest, it was such a blur, bro, that I do not even recall certain moments. I was just going through the motions of things. But I remember going back to Atlanta, and then I was away from her for a month. So Vienna and Janessa stayed in Miami for another month. They moved to Atlanta at the end of March, I think it was, and Danny brings them up. My other brother-in-law, and yeah, man, it was a time of complete and utter overwhelmingness, if that's a word. It's just the fucking truth, man. It was a lot.
What was that? What was that month like? Do you remember? Like when you get back, you said they didn't come up for a month.
Yeah.
Like, what was that like? So you mentioned the not being able to like get over the anxiety of are they breathing while they're sleeping or like I remember that distinctly. I can't even imagine being there for 3 days being like, okay, I think she's gonna breathe on her own from now on. I think that's gonna be the way it works. And then being like for a month, just being like, I'm out for a month. What was
wild?
I mean,
like, how did you manage that, I guess is my question.
You have to disconnect.
Okay.
I mean, and I think as dads, like there's a point where you sometimes need to disconnect from that feeling because otherwise you'll drive yourself insane.
And your wife probably.
Yeah, no, and I mean, but mostly for our own the sake of what it is to be a father, dude. Like to be a father is not just like, because I think people think of dads sometimes as like, oh, he gets to go to work and he gets to do all these things, and they're not wrong about that. That's true. There's a certain level of disconnect. Even us talking, our wives can't disconnect, right? And I understand that, but there's something that fucking happens when you have to disconnect that I don't think enough men talk about. It's like, you have to provide, dude. You have to, whatever line of work it is that you do, whether it's business, creative, etc., you have to make time for your brain to be processing how do we fucking make money. Otherwise, you're just like a fucking, what am I gonna stay home all day and fucking, figure out, I don't know, we'll figure out how we're gonna eat, we'll figure out, no, you gotta be thinking about how I'm gonna make money, how am I gonna move forward. So I think all of those things are something that you start to create for yourself. Now you got to be careful that you don't get so good at disconnecting that now whenever the fuck it's time to disconnect, Robby, whoever the fuck I am that day is gone. And then re-engaging when you get back to home to the tribe is a whole other thing. I know you know this because you've been coming down and forward. Yeah. It's like, okay, I leave to work. My work usually is somewhere else, right? So I'll go work at some other state. I leave for 2 weeks, a week at a time, sometimes more. And then I come back and now it's like, boom, you get fucking inserted into a fucking bullet train. And it's like, move this shit and blah, blah, blah. And now all of that, bro, because the mom is constantly in that like barrage of things, but when you're not, dude, like you gotta like come back in and then be, and now you're monitoring: is mom okay? Is baby okay? What's going on here? Mom and baby aren't as connected as they should be, or they are, and so now how do I insert my? It's fucking, it's very complicated, dude. The dad shit. It's complicated. And that's why people fail at it, because it's not easy.
Well, and then you throw on top of that, like, yes, mom, but also wife. And now there's that's a whole other aspect of like you get inserted into that, but also hey, you're also my wife. So there's there's some we've talked about. There's so many other steps there that it is very complicated. That mix for sure.
Incredibly, bro.
Yeah.
There's so many things you're juggling, dude, as a dad. You know.
And none of this is to take away from what mom is going through. Just so we're not
100%.
we're not blanketing.
No, I'm taking away from no.
No, just
I agree, man.
but I think the most important part of our podcast is that yes, there's always that underlining that we're not taking anything away from mom, but these are important topics to talk about.
Absolutely.
Dad and kind of the trials and tribulations and the beautiful things that we go through.
And to further that, dude, like how much of the shit that's going on in our society, things that happen, are attributed to dads and the lack of fatherhood, right? And so we have to talk about it. That's why I think your podcast is important. Like, you guys need to talk about these kind of issues without the fear of like, oh, this is a dad fucking like, no, dude, it's true. Right. It's fucking hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's hard, period. And it's hard if you're doing it right.
I think that's the caveat. I think that's the caveat.
Right.
Anybody,
you could be a fucking asshole.
What was the saying? Anybody can be a father, but not everybody can be a dad.
Oh, no. That's 100% correct.
Right. So, and so you understand the sentiment of that. So then you've had 2 daughters since Vienna.
Yeah.
Right. What are their names? You got
Lola and Ruby.
Nola and Ruby. And so my question is, because my wife and I plan to have another, you and Marty plan to have another.
We do.
Is that experience, is that hospital experience less insane the second time around?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, okay. Second one was still, because it's almost like when, wow, this is a crazy analogy, but it's what pops into my brain. When you do some kind of drug, right? That, let's say you have a bad trip with that first drug.
Okay.
Right? He's like, all right, man, I'll follow you here. Just waiting. Listen, fucking follow me, dude. Right? So listen.
It's all going to work out.
Second one is you're like, okay, it's not as bad as that first experience I had with that thing. And I'm a little bit better at managing it. The third time for me with Ruby was the one that I was like, completely present. I know everything that's happening. I know what the sounds are, bro. So much of everything is sensory, at least for me as an actor. Like, I'm keenly aware of my senses at all times, right? So when I can be in a room multiple times, I get more comfortable.
Gotcha.
Right? So being in that scenario, it's the sounds, it's the people moving, it's how people talk to you. Like, I remember I was doing a video and the girl and the nurse was like, no video. I'm turning it off. Like, they talk to you like that because there's fucking some important shit going on, dude. And I'm just there like, like an idiot, right? But this third time was truly beautiful. Like, it was an experience that I'll never forget. I remember partly also because now I know what happens to the love between you and this baby. That first time, you're just trying to like, oh my God. And, I don't know, you're just trying to like manage. But now I know how beautiful that relationship becomes, dude. And so when I'm seeing this baby now, I'm seeing also Vienna and I'm seeing Lola there, right? And I'm going, oh my God, like, I'm gonna have all these memories with this baby now. And I remember Janessa had like a playlist playing, which your sister's amazing, dude. Like, all the things that she does to make sure that that the experience that our life is good is incredible, right? But so she had this playlist playing that was specifically for Ruby, right? Each baby has had their own playlist, and Ruby's playlist that's playing while she's having the C-section had a song in there that is a song that's called Ruby. The baby comes out. Now, there's fucking 50 songs there, and it's on shuffle. The song that comes out, and I have a video, actually, of this moment, is the Ruby comes out, and the song is playing that Ruby. And Ruby, amazing. You're a dream, and all this. my God, my tears are just like, my face is
Mind
melting
blown.
off.
Oh my gosh.
Because I was able to really be there and listen.
Mm-hmm,
First two babies, I can't tell you what the
Surviving.
song was, man.
Yeah.
That came, but for this one, I was there, and so it was. I say that to say it gets better, dude. You the second
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully third and fourth, whatever, as many as you have, you'll be able to appreciate it more.
Yeah, I mean, the first time it was definitely scary in that it was all new, right? And like we had gone in the morning because Megan was experiencing contractions and she wasn't dilated enough, so we went home and we came back 12 hours later and they admitted her, and then it was another 12 hours till the baby was there.
Oh, wow.
And so it was a wild ride for us all over the place, between getting the epidural, between trying to sleep, between trying to get up and go to the bathroom, like. And then when the baby finally came, it was like, to me, it was this moment of like, she's here. We're officially parents. This is wild. And like when they took the baby away, I got to have a moment with just Megan.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it's a moment that I'll never forget, where we're like, she's laying on her side, we're holding hands, we're looking at each other, and we're just like, we fucking did it. Like she's here. We got her here. We did everything we were supposed to do for the last 9 months. She's here. She's healthy, all 10 fingers, all 10 toes.
Yeah.
And she's here. And then as soon as that moment ends, it goes into that panic. You're talking about, like, is she breathing? Is she going to be breathing on her own?
Yeah.
She's breathing on her own. Is she always going to do that? And then like that first night, I didn't sleep at all that first night. You and I have talked about this. I didn't sleep at all that first night. And she was born on the day that the Knowles played LSU, and we beat them. And I was silently cheering in the room, like jumping up and down, going, and like and like trying not to wake Megan, trying not to wake the baby, and like it's just one of those things that I hope I hold on to forever.
Yeah.
That my brain stays sharp enough to keep. So I'm excited for the opportunity to maybe have another one, and for that to get even better, and maybe have another different moment, like your playlist moment. I think that those are the things that make life so sweet, is like remembering those moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's cool to get behind the scenes, because obviously I've seen, I'm insanely close to you guys, and I've seen you guys grow as a family, and to hear those behind the scenes, that even though we're as close as we are, you don't get access to that unless it's a situation like this, or we're sitting down over a beer, whatever the case may be. Like, that's cool to hear about you guys, about Janessa, and that's awesome. That really is cool.
So then, how old are your girls now?
So Vienna is about to turn 4 in February. Lola's just turned 2, and then Ruby's a month.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So like real. Okay. Cool.
No, we're in the thick of it. Right?
Yeah. Well, I think you're going to be in the thick of it for a while, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets any thinner from here.
Exactly.
My daughter just turned 2 also in September, so I've at least got one of those kind of nailed down. So what's I guess I'm curious about like the dynamic of having 3 kids that close together. Like you've been around them. Like, do they get along? Are they crazy? Like, how different are their personalities? Like, I have so many questions about having 3 kids always around you that are that close.
Yeah, they're very different. At least the first 2, right? Ruby, it's still
to be seen.
Yeah, TBD. But Lola and Vienna are very different. I think the biggest thing, 2 is a lot, right?
Well,
just 2 and under 4. You're in for a wild ride.
Yeah,
there.
what I'm deciding is happening for her, because she can't tell me, is that she's becoming the first version of herself. Like, she's becoming her own identity. She can look in the mirror and say, she calls herself Pepe. She says, that's Pepe. She knows who she is, that she's her own entity. She's not funny. Peyton, she's Pepe.
Yeah.
So she's becoming her first version of herself, and I imagine that, like we all did, you go through different iterations of yourself. But I'm curious, because they're not aware of that, but we're gonna see it and we're gonna know it. And being a dad, like, how do you guide them through that? These are just things I ask myself, not necessarily asking you. So I guess from 2 to 4, maybe what can I expect? I guess is maybe a good question then.
Man, so I don't know, again, like how advanced with speech your baby might be.
Yeah, I mean, she talks pretty good, but we're the only ones who can understand her.
Sure. That's where Lola's at.
Okay.
So I get you with that. Vienna is talking like, just, she'll do paragraphs. She does stories. She tells You know, she starts saying things like, you know, you're the best dad in the world. Like there's things that now start to happen within your relationship with the kid as they grow older, that it just deepens that relationship more.
Agreed.
Now there's also a leaving behind of who that kid used to be, right? Because already at almost 4, like there's been, like you just said, there's been iterations of this child for me, right?
Yeah. It is wild.
And you kind of have to let go of that, the previous child almost. It's very strange in that way.
It's super weird for me and my wife. We're really good about like we're really bad at looking at old photos, but we're really good about sharing that moment with each other when we find one, or like my phone will just suggest one. And every once in a while, there's like an iconic video or something of like the first time she rolled over, and I'll send it to Megan. And then we're both just like looking at the kid she is now, and we're like, totally different kid. Like we have to let that go. Remember that it happened. Be happy, but like look at the awesome kid we have right now.
I know.
So yeah. So
to your point though, like about the seeing things on your phone and your phone constantly reminding you of your experience with your kid, really, that's what they're constantly like showing you these life memories. Our parents didn't deal with that.
No, they didn't.
The photos were somewhere over there. The video, if there was any, is stashed somewhere, and we'll see it maybe in 5 years.
Yeah,
like you're seeing this in real time. And I wonder what that does to us as parents. Like, I don't know if it forces you. I don't know if it's good or bad. One, right. I have a feeling that it's good in some ways, like everything, good in some ways, bad in others. I choose to kind of look at the good, which is that it's constantly reminding you, like, hey, this moment goes away. This goes away.
Constant reminder.
This goes away. That's basically the reminders. Hey, this goes away.
I choose to believe that it's good. I choose to believe that it's good because we are a society of quick to jump on people, quick to forget, right? Like we were just talking about some celebrity that maybe they had some scandal, but we don't even remember. And if it was that bad, wouldn't we remember? But maybe not. So it's like, it's scary to think that you could forget something important about your kids. So I choose to believe that this is a good thing because it keeps me grounded. It keeps me more connected. And I think that it deepens my relationship with my daughter. Whether she can reciprocate it yet or not, it doesn't matter.
I'm with you on that.
You mentioned when Vienna was being born, just the overwhelm of emotions, like of her being here finally. And it made me think of Megan and I have a dog. We have a Boston Terrier, and we love this dog. You love your dog unconditionally because your dog loves you unconditionally. And the moment Peyton was born,
Robbie
like,
wouldn't know. He doesn't have dogs.
No, listen.
Robbie doesn't have dogs.
Give
so
away the dog. No, listen. I love. Hold on. Not to fucking cut you. I fucking.
I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah. I'm gonna let you finish. I loved dogs, and I still do. And I think one day I'll reconnect with that feeling of what it is to love a dog. Right now, go fuck yourself.
No,
you know what I mean? All dogs.
And that's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting at. Is like the moment she was born and we took her home, I looked at her and I was like, I fucking thought I loved my dog.
Bro, I had the same feeling.
It's not even close.
It's not even close, man.
And I thought I loved my dog like so much.
Yeah.
And I look at my kid and I'm like, it's not even close.
I remember having that feeling before Braden. And I remember thinking that, like, man, I really love Blanton. Like, he's such a great dog. Like, he's a companion. Like, he's a good dog. Can't get better. And then you have a baby and you're like, holy shit, I was an idiot.
I was an idiot.
What an idiot. Like, it's, and we've talked, I think we've talked about this, like the saying unconditional love, and like, you'll never know what it feels like. And bro, before you have a child, you think it's such bullshit. And you're like, get out of here, man. Like, I'm never going to know that, like a love like that. What are you talking about? And when you have a child and you feel that, you really will never, ever, ever have felt and will feel the love that you have for that human being. Ever. It isn't, you can't explain, you really can't explain it.
I firmly believe that you have to have a kid to understand
It's unreal. And we talk about it. I say it more, and we've kind of gone back and forth because I think having a boy is a crazy dynamic because it's a little you, and you have a weird feeling of like I love you unconditionally, I love you, but then he does things that I'm like, I want to throw you through the fucking window, guy. Like, stop being an idiot, because you see yourself, you're like, stop being an idiot. And it's a wild feeling, and I don't have girls, so I don't know what that feels like. But yeah, it's just you'll never feel the way that you feel about having a child. And I assume that a mother that could be only heightened, like having the child, like actually like birthing the child, it can only be heightened of what we feel, and what we feel is already euphoric. So it's insane.
insane.
Yeah, I agree. I always say that, like, before having Braden, I would always get, the people that tell you this feeling, man, like you can't explain it. It's something you've never felt and you'll never feel. It's just amazing. And it's like, really, bro? I have a dog, my guy. I have a dog. I'm good. And then you have the baby, and you're like, holy mother of God.
Wrong.
I was so wrong.
Yeah.
And it really is. It's the truth, man. It's the truth. It's wild. It's wild.
It is, man. It is. And the moms, like, they have that head start too with the baby. We spoke about this. I remember kind of speaking to you about this before Braden was born, because I was how much older is Vienna than Braden? 3 months?
Yeah, a couple months.
So I remember,
Vienna's
like,
what, February?
Yeah.
Braden's May.
Okay.
End of May.
So I remember, like, the last few months of Mari's pregnancy, and we were going to the gym, remember, in the sauna and shit like that. And you'd be like, we'd be kind of talking about it, and I'd be kind of trying to tell you, like, dude, it takes a while as well. It's not like, because I think even in the way that we're talking about it now, at least if I was listening as an observer or as a listener, it sounds like it's kind of like instant.
It's
and
not.
It is, but at the same time, it's not.
Yeah. We had that conversation too. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
100%.
because the
You
moms
don't connect at the same level that the mom does right away.
No.
Because like you said, you sorry, but
Yes, yeah.
you have the moms have those 9 months previous to develop.
Yeah.
It's in the belly, but they're developing a relationship with baby.
100%.
It's a whole other level.
100%.
So yes, 100%. We talked about that. You don't connect right away, but you do, like, the love and the passion and the I say obsession, but yeah, it's an obsession for that human being, that baby is there.
Yeah.
But the connection is not.
Yeah.
It takes a minute for the father to get that true connection.
It does, yeah.
And for me, my true connection with Braden, and I don't know, maybe it's the way that I'm built or whatever, came when he started, like, really talking. Like, again, obviously your relationship grows with the baby, but when I was able to communicate with him, and when I was able to, like, understand and him understand me, that's when I really felt like we took, that big step in that connection. And now it's like you were saying, like, he's very on par with Vienna as far as, like, advancement in language and stuff like that. The other day he came, I was telling Mari, it was yesterday, the day before, because when Mari works, I take him to school in the mornings. And I was in the bathroom doing something. I was washing my face, something like that, and he comes in, and he's like half asleep. He comes in. He goes, "Papa," and I go, "Yeah, what's up, buddy?" He goes, "Where's Mama?" I go, "No, I work." And he already knows, like, all right, cool. It's you, it's just me and you, boy. And so he looks at me and he goes, "You come cuddle with me, bruh." First time he ever told me that, because it's always mom. The cuddling thing with him and me, like, he's very a little standoffish. He's still like, mom's first. So do me a favor, like, we're here. Get the fuck out of the get the fuck out of the room.
This is my
just,
girl.
get the fuck out of the room. I don't know who the fuck you are, but just move away, step away. But it was the first time that he's done that, where he's, like, actively gone, like, hey, I need to connect with you, so let's go to the bed. I need to cuddle with you. It was crazy. It was a great moment.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm sure you get that with the girls all the time, because there's that connection of dad and daughter.
Yeah.
But to have him, like, and that connection, again, didn't really come until he started speaking, or not even speaking, but being able to communicate with me, like, verbally and say things or whatever the case may be. And yeah, now it's insanely heightened, and his language, like Vienna, dude, like, say full sentences and just like, and they mean things, like, they say things and it's like just a full paragraph. You're like, guy, how old are you?
Yeah, I know.
Like 3 going on 15, 13 or whatever they say. Like, it's crazy. It's wild.
Are you having the terrible twos syndrome, or
so? Yes and no. So we've taught her to, when she has, like, a I guess we'll call it a meltdown. She doesn't, like, throw tantrums, right? She gets real upset and she cries, and then she's able to vocalize, "I'm sad."
Oh,
so
that's cool.
So she turns to us and she's crying, and we go, "What's wrong?" And she goes, "I'm sad." One thing that she picked up all on her own, at least to my knowledge, is when we tell her no, or we do something that does upset her, she will instinctively drop her head and then saunter over somewhere and then lay her head down. And like she pouts. She pout. Like I don't know that anyone showed her how to pout.
Right.
How did that come about?
Right.
But then if she's like really upset, I'm sad, and then we're like, oh, do you want a hug? Do you want? And so like we're trying to get her to like process her emotions a little bit as much as a 2-year-old can.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's highs and lows, my guy.
Right.
It's highs and lows.
Yeah,
It's either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever. There's no in between.
Do you do timeouts yet?
No, we haven't gotten to the point of timeout. We're doing a tactic called 1, 2, 3, you or me. So they get to make a choice. 1, 2, 3, you or me. Either you come here and come inside like I asked you to, or I'm going to come get you and make you come inside. So 1, 2, 3, you or me.
Oh, nice.
1, 2, 3. And usually by 3, she's moving her butt towards the door. Right? She also is testing her boundaries a lot. So you'll be like, hey Peyton. And she will do the thing with her eyes where she hears you. And she'll just you're like, you want to come over here? And she's like, you're looking around, and you're like, I know you can hear me. And then she smirks, and you're like, all right, kiddo, come on, let's go. We got to put your shoes on. Da 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 da. So, and most of the time she's good. Like they're all good most of the time, right?
Yeah.
And she's really good in public places. Like we haven't
That's awesome.
we haven't had that massive meltdown in Publix. You know what I mean? So it's been
Braden's
really,
good in public
good.
too. In general, just Braden's awesome with that.
Yeah, and I think it also helps that Megan and I are comfortable dividing and conquering. So like Megan will go do the shopping, and I'll just let Peyton kind of walk around, and like she likes to go grab an apple from the counter, and then go look at the balloons, and then we'll go look at the stuffed animals, and we'll go look at the books, and then we'll go find Mama, and then we'll go somewhere else, and like so she gets to walk around and explore and be safe, but also like we're getting stuff done at the same time.
Well, so that you asked me earlier, like having that transition from 1 to 2 to 3, that's the first thing that's like very demanding, because now as a team you're playing zone, right? Like you hear this a lot, but
that's
it's
such
like,
a good analogy.
Yeah, but it's fucking true. It's like I remember when Lola was born, it was overwhelming at first, and I remember like going to Janessa and telling her like, hey, listen, I'm gonna guard.
I'm gonna guard the wing.
That's
You
my
might be
man.
five.
That's my man.
I'm guarding Vienna.
I got the tall
and
one.
you guard Lola, okay? For these first few months, that's how we're gonna do it, and it worked out. Now it's like
They outnumber you.
yeah, for the most part, Janessa's got the baby, and then I'm just here.
Yeah.
You're at Publix, it's like this one wants to walk that way, that one wants to go this way. So now I grab this one, but this one's crying, but now we're walking. So there's a lot of that going on now. And that's been the biggest adjustment, I think, for us. Then simple things like, a car. Now I'm putting Lola and Vienna in the back seat, and Janessa's in the middle seat with Ruby. We have bucket seats, so it kind of works out better.
You have Janessa in the car seat as well?
Yeah, we have Janessa in the car seat.
Facing backwards still.
Yeah, facing backwards. Right, exactly.
Everybody's watching Bluey.
Yeah. So there's things like that, man, that are challenging. But we're getting through it, dude. And let's see how the stages go, because you guys know now that you're dads for years, for multiple years. Everything, it changes, dude.
Yeah. So then I'm gonna kind of get us back on track, because we've been talking about our personal things, and Jay and I had a podcast where we talked about the men in our lives who inspired us to be the type of dads we wanted to be, or helped us kind of carve out that visual. So I'm curious, because you're a very chill dude, you're very laid back, but you clearly have purpose, you clearly have drive, you clearly have the things that I characterize as important in defining who you are and knowing about you enough to help other people.
Yeah.
What kind of maybe actions, experiences, events, people have inspired you, and in what way to become what type of dad? And let me ask it a different way. When your girls are old enough to look back at their time with you, what type of things do you want them to remember about you being a dad?
Wow.
Too very, I think, okay, no, but not,
You just
not
pulled
so
the
much
JC.
there.
I know, but I
You
like the
just
way I
pulled the
asked it.
JC.
I like
You
the
just talked
second
shit
one.
to me.
Okay.
You just talked shit to me at lunch about how I do that.
Sir,
and now I'm going to
you're
call your
loud in the
ass out.
headphones. Sir, you're loud in the
blowing out
headphones.
that-
Sir, you're loud in the headphones.
This is bullshit.
I'll answer both.
No,
I'll answer
I
both.
know. I want to know. So I like the way I asked it the second way better. I like the way I asked it.
Okay,
the second way
I'll
better.
answer the second
But
one.
I do want to hear about like where's your
Where does that come from?
inspo come from?
Well,
Like, and I know where it
so-
does, but
Yeah,
for him.
yeah, I think compassion for me. I think one of the things, like as an early dad, right? It's been only 4 years approximately, I'm keenly aware of the moments where I lost control of my emotions, right? Like you know, I'll lose control of my emotions, and then at night I'm like, God damn it, bro. Why did I let myself get so overwhelmed by this or that? I think my dad, for me, I have to name him as the first person that obviously everything I am as a human being are from my parents and my grandparents. My grandparents lived with us, right? So I grew up in a house with both of my grandparents from my mom's side, my parents, and then my older brother and my older sister. I was the youngest. They were 14 and 15 when I was born, right?
Oh, wow.
Somewhere in that range. So I was really the youngest, and in a lot of ways, an only child in some capacity, right? It's like a hybrid of an only child and a kid who has siblings. So, but I think for me, my dad was always there, and he worked like a motherfucker. I mean, to this day, he works a lot. But he was working overnight. He was working, and I never felt like, oh, my dad's not around at all. He was at every game. He was at every, you know, everything that was important in my life. He was always there. So I also want to mimic that. Like, as crazy as my schedule will get, I hope and pray that I can be there for those things and not make them feel like they're secondary in any way. And we weren't making a lot of, you know, my parents weren't making a lot of money, so I'm sure there was stresses with that. I never felt any of that, right? Very rarely did they ever fight in front of us with my grandparents at all until later years when we were dealing with mental health stuff, dementia, things like that. But in my childhood, none of that. So that's another fucking thing where I'm like, any single time, and Janessa can tell you this, my biggest thing is I don't want to fight in front of the kids because I didn't experience that, and I'm super grateful that I didn't, because I see how it's affected other people who their parents did. And by the way, when we do get into little things, I see it in their faces, man. You see like the fear and the anxiety bubbling up, because you're like, man, these are the two people that I'm looking up to. Yeah. And if they're fighting and butting heads like this, like, who the fuck do I have to? So I say all of that to say, like, yeah, I those are things that I value, that I hope I can bring over from what my dad and my mom showed me. And hopefully I can pass that on to my girls, because otherwise it was for nothing.
Right.
That's the way I fucking see it, man. Like, if I don't continue the cycle that is a good one, then everything my parents did or my grandparents did was for absolutely nothing. Because that's a selfish thing. Like, oh, just so that I had a good childhood, but now my kids don't have a good childhood. Dude, that's something that I'm keenly aware of and trying my hardest to, you know, do.
Put your energy into.
Absolutely, dude.
I think that's huge. I think that specifically the like losing your cool and trying to be more aware, more conscious, more.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
More forgiving yourself, more grace, more forgiveness about it all, and then taking the steps to be better the next time.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, John, not to cut you off, but I think it's important also to say.
Not to cut you off again.
Yeah. But I think it's important to say this, man. Like, you there's a line also, right? So as dads, I'm also of the belief that the dad sets the tone of respect, of disrespect, of where the line is, right? So you have to find that balance. Again, very, very hard job, dude. I'm here speaking for all the dads, dude. Our job is hard, bro. You have to be able to do that while at the same time being compassionate and being able to at night sit down and be like, hey, I overreacted there. I did this. And when they're older, I'm going to tell them, hey, the way dad reacted yesterday was wrong. Yeah. And it's wrong because of X, Y, and Z.
I've told B already. I've told B already. And again, he's already keenly aware. B emotionally is very, very, very advanced, and I've told him already. Because with the boy, it's tough, bro. Again, it's like they're a little you, man. So you're like, bro, don't do that stupid shit that I did probably, but you know. And so it's tough. But I'll tell him, and I've lost my cool, and I'll tell him, hey, yo, my bad. Like, hey, I'll get to his level. Yeah. But the setting the tone thing is a really important, I think, topic, because and it's not discussed. and I will say this: every household is different, right? Every dynamic is different. But I think specifically you and I, because I know like the household he grew up in, and the household I grew up in, and we follow the same thing. Like Mari and I are very similar to you guys, whereas. She is the nurturer. She is the she's always, for the most part, soft with him and talking to him and like trying to ease things through even when he's going crazy or whatever. But there are moments where it's just like, hey, that's it. He's being disrespectful. I'm not going to allow him to be disrespectful. B, especially to you, my wife and his mother, okay, the woman of his life, and he needs to be taught. He needs to learn that he cannot do that. And a lot of the times it won't come from the mom, because at least Mari and the dynamic that I see with her, like that's not in her nature. And from what I've seen, that's a lot of women are like that. It's not in their nature to be the not the aggressor. That's not the right word, but like the setting of the line. Like, hey, there's a very specific balance there, right? They're by nature, they're nurturers. They don't want to get into that with their children. And I think that balance of understanding that, and also not stepping on the wife's toes either, like letting her have her space, letting her do her thing. Because there's a lot of times that Braden will get fucking crazy, and I want to go at him. I want to like, yo, no, absolutely not. This is not what we do. And she'll step in and she'll just calmly talk to him, and you see him, bro, like.
And it works, yeah.
And it works. And it's fine. And that was the right path then. But then there's times where she'll get to his level, whatever, and he's just going nuts and he's disrespecting, whatever. And then I step in, I'm like, yo, this is not allowed. Like in this house, this is not allowed. He's not going to disrespect you. So I think, to your point, yes, that setting of the tone, the balance, and again, I want to be very clear. Like there's different dynamics in different homes, but the dynamic that we come from, I think, is very specific to that. Is like the setting of the tone, and it's a tough balance, man. Because again, you don't want to step on mom's toes. You don't want to overrule her either. Technically, like you want that balance to make sure that they also respect mom, and they also understand that that's the head of the household as well. So it's a tough balance for sure.
And it is different. I mean, you have a boy, right? Like we have
again,
girls.
yes.
So the girl mom dynamic
the
is a lot different, I think.
Oh man, I see it with the girls. Like when I go over, like there's a huge difference right away too, man. Yeah. There's a big difference in character. Well, when Peyton was over, when Peyton came over during the hurricane, man, like you just see the way that they play. Like Peyton came in and she was just like very soft.
Yep.
She wanted
to just go cook something,
and then I'm gonna put this toy away, and then I'm gonna play with this toy.
Yeah.
And Braden's just like throwing toys all over the place, and like they're completely different dynamics. Yeah. And it's crazy. Yeah, I see with the girls all the time when we go over with the girls, or you see Braden interacting with the girls. It's completely different.
It is.
It's completely different.
It is, and even that mom-daughter relationship too.
I can imagine.
Like, that's another thing that I think is different. I think with the boys, you might see more of that. But if it's two women, like similar to you know what Braden's doing. Like, you know how he plays the games and what he wants from mom, and you're like, no, I don't want you to,
Yeah.
So it's all different depending on what your dynamics are, I think.
And I see him with Mari, man. He knows, like,
of course,
he knows how to twist, how to turn, like, and he knows when she's just being like googly eye over him. He knows, man. He gets it. He gets it. Yeah. So it's funny, and I can imagine the girls are the same way with you, probably. Yeah. And I'm sure, and I've seen you melt with the girls, man. Yeah. So it's the same exact dynamic.
Yeah, I get accused of that a little bit.
For sure, guy.
We all do.
For sure.
You let your daughter do what now?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? She's fine. She's okay. And I don't know about you guys, but Megan and I have this thing. If Peyton does a certain characteristic that's significant to me or significant to me, we're like, that's your kid.
Yes.
That's how I know it's your kid. So like, I was in theater in high school. I liked being the center of attention to a lot of things. My job used to be group fitness, so I like standing in front of the room, being the one who knows things. Like everyone, all eyes on me. So when my kid walks around the house singing a song, and right now the song is Happy Birthday, by the way, the song, because it was Megan's birthday at the end of November. So she's just walking around the house going, Happy Birthday, Happy Birthday. And Megan will like send me a video, and then she'll turn the camera back on her and she'll just be like, your kid, and hang up. And like, that's it. I'm like, that's all I get.
That's awesome. That's really, yeah, we do that as well. I mess with Mari all the time because I mess around with Mari that she's fake independent. Like she's because she's very headstrong. She's very, very independent, but always kind of like, baby, there. You there? You good? You know? And Braden's the same way. Braden's like very headstrong, very independent, but always kind of like, you guys there?
Checking his shoulder.
You guys are around me?
Are you looking? Are you watching?
So I always mess with her. But yeah, we do that all the time. It's funny. And it is crazy how it is so obvious how you see different characteristics in the kids. And like I see it in Braden all the time, man. Just like different characters, something he does, I'm like, holy shit. That's me. Mm-hmm. Like I do that, you know?
And then so vice versa. I get so excited about seeing what the next one is.
Right.
Like the next, because you guys ever heard like the sleep regressions when they're learning a new skill, and all those kinds of things. So anytime she like doesn't take a nap, that's the running joke for us, is like she's learning a new skill that one of us taught her. Who is it? Is it a you skill? Is it a me skill?
Right.
Who's gonna be more annoyed by the next thing that comes out of her mouth? And so like it's a way to make it fun and like harmless. And
they ever wake up and they're like a different kid, like just like. I call it like the processing, like the computer rebooted over the night.
Yeah, new operating system.
It is nuts, man. They wake up and it's like, dude, you have 25 more words in your arsenal.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah.
Brand new words and phrases. Where did that come from?
It's wild.
Yeah, the one that caught me off guard lately is check it out.
Wow, that's funny.
Check it out.
Funny,
check it out. It used to be show you. She would like grab you by the hand and walk
show
you.
you.
Show you. Now check it out. What are you talking about? Who said check it out? Oh my god.
Braden's doing his nuts. I'm like, bro.
Oh yes, that's
who
awesome.
are you, my guy? He's like, nuts. Yeah. I'm like, guy, get out of here.
Get out of here with your own nuts.
All right. So I think this is a nice organic end to the transition end to the podcast. We do a little game at the end of every podcast called Underrated, Overrated, and Rated exactly where it needs to be. So I got the last one. So I am going to either throw it to John if you have one, or we can ask Robby if he has one on an underrated, overrated, or rated exactly where it needs to be.
I'm gonna opt it up to the guest. Do you have anything that you think you have a hot take on that you'd like to hear?
Robby has a lot of hot takes, so you have to have a hot take.
Do I?
And you can give us just the general topic, and then we're gonna write under, over, or exactly on our boards. Then we'll reveal them to the camera so that the audience can see.
And we've had all kinds. We've had cake. We've had car sex.
That's true. We did talk about car sex.
Funny.
We've had a ton of them. So
yeah, we've done a bunch.
We have.
I'm gonna defer back to you guys, dude.
All right,
Find something.
What do you got, Jay?
Damn. I got a good one. That's relative.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we are in a media company and we are in this beautiful space. In that realm, Netflix.
Oh.
Overrated, underrated, or rated exactly where it needs to be. Thinking streaming services, and because Heels season 1 is on Netflix and season 2,
and we should all go watch it.
Yeah, so Robby, make sure you put just rated exactly where it needs to be, or underrated.
Yeah, unless you have other subscriptions, it's severely underrated. Then you got to make sure you put that in there. If you don't have a Netflix subscription, it's because you just don't know how underrated it is. Thank you, sir.
We can get him a marker again, dude.
Yeah, I know. We got to get a new marker.
That's okay. All right. Count us down, Jay.
3, 2, 1.
Boom. I put under/exact.
What'd you put? What did he put?
What did you put?
Rated
exactly where it needs to be. He wrote the whole sentence out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rated it, and you?
There it is.
I put under/exact only because, so I guess because mine's different, I'll go first. I put under only because I remember Netflix when it was order a DVD, get it shipped to your house.
Shit.
Like, and you could have one at a time. That's how I watched Weeds. I would order one CD of it, and you'd watch like 5 episodes, and then you put it back in the mail, and you could still binge it. It was the intro of binging.
Yeah.
But that's how I watched the show Weeds from Showtime is on DVD like that. And then when it became a streaming service, it was crazy. And I think that Netflix went through a lull and now it's coming back up.
You're right.
Kind of like how we talked about baseball in the last with Adrian.
Yeah.
I think that there are so many smash hits on so many streaming services that they're almost all underrated to some point. But right now, I'm enjoying going to Netflix more than most of the other streaming services because of their Netflix specific content, not because it's got planes, trains, and automobiles, and Amazon doesn't. Right? It's not like that. It's like Heels. It's like that show Arcane that I was telling you about, the animated show. It just the Netflix exclusive things. I find myself going back to those shows and watching them season after season, versus like I think the only contender that I would have in my arsenal is I watch a couple of shows on Apple TV. So you got like Ted Lasso, Shrinking, Central Park was on there. That was really good. The Morning Show's fantastic. Like there's a lot of good shows on that too. So between those two, that's what I'm choosing if it's not YouTube to just pass the time.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Rated exactly like I put there. I think I agree. They went through a lull, and then they're kind of having like the resurgence moment in the last couple of years. I love Netflix. I think they're the platform, the user friendliness, obviously the content they create. Their originals are amazing. Now they're really like leaning into sports, into wrestling, into different things.
Oh yeah, those docuseries are so good.
Yeah, so at the docuseries. So yeah, I do. I don't really watch a lot of, like, I'm not a big streamer. I don't watch a lot of content on TV. The only content that I watch now is either sports or anything for Braden. So a lot of Bluey, a lot of Disney, a lot of freaking Blippy. I know.
I'm not on Blippy yet.
I tell him Blippy, like I tell him Blippy went to sleep when he comes home because I can't do that all the time.
Everybody goes night night.
Yeah, night night.
Yeah, everybody goes night night.
I don't even know that one.
Oh yeah, don't.
Good thing.
Good thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Luckily, Braden's into like a lot of the old Disney now, like Lion King, Aladdin, stuff like that, which I love.
Him to that,
He's really into that.
I'm so not ready to introduce her to Lion
it's
King.
amazing.
I'm so not ready.
But
no.
But
Lion King is tough.
Tough, right?
Lion King is
especially
tough.
like watching with
tough.
dad.
Oh
Like,
yeah. 100%. But he loves it. He loves all the old school stuff. And but yeah, Netflix rated exactly where it needs to be, man. It's always pretty consistent. And again, I guess I have a little bit of a bias now because of Heels and because of their push into sports and wrestling, and I love that. But yeah, rated exactly where it needs to be.
I put it rated exactly where it needs to be, but only because it's already the fucking monster streaming service.
Huge.
But if not, I would have put underrated because I think like the potential now, like they're going into UFC. Like I think UFC's contract with whoever they have it right now is about to end. That's probably gonna go there. Like all the live events for the UFC, all the live events for sports. Like I think they're gonna take over that market completely. It's a little bit of a pivot from what we originally like loved about it. Like was the shows and all the different shows they had on there. Obviously, they had to pivot because now Paramount Plus happened and all these
and
Disney
Plus.
and all that. It kind of almost took them down.
Yeah.
It's really kind of remarkable that they were able to like now pivot and find their footing.
And what they're doing now.
And what they're doing now is insane. And as a person who works in the industry of entertainment, I've experienced now the smaller streaming services and then the larger ones, and the actual reach that Netflix has is insane.
Yeah.
Like insane. And it has the ability to completely catapult shows into
Right.
like that's one of the things they're doing. They're getting canceled shows, and they're bringing them on their platform. And then now all of a sudden you have Cobra Kai, one of the biggest shows in the world, that was canceled at YouTube Red.
Oh, see, I didn't know
YouTube,
that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
YouTube TV or YouTube Red, whatever it was
It
called.
was called one of those. They had the first 2 seasons, got canceled. Nobody was on that service. Moved those 2 seasons to Netflix.
And look at it, blew up.
And they did that with a few other ones. I think there was I'm forgetting the names of them, but
Heels.
Right, obviously Heels. But there's some that like have become monster hits, and they were canceled at other places. So yeah, man, Netflix, dude, Heels, go watch it.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. Both seasons are on, correct?
Yeah, dude.
Both season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
Performing pretty good from what I understand.
No, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, the numbers
Really
are good.
good.
I know it gets in the top whatever.
Yeah. No official word yet, but we've been hearing back that it's going really well. So hopefully, God willing, man, we get back on there, shoot another third season. Have you seen it yet, John, or no?
I haven't yet.
Okay, so
I
when
gotta
you
get
get
on
to
it,
the end
yeah.
of season 2, dude,
Okay.
you're gonna want that season 3 because of the way it ends. It's like a massive cliffhanger.
That's dope.
And so the people who have watched it are like, come on,
Yeah.
Come
It's
on,
like,
you
can't-
gotta do
You
it.
can't do us like
Yeah,
this.
not because he's on the show. I know I'm sure bias there built in, but it really is a great show. It taps into our nostalgia growing up with wrestling and sports and that dynamic. The brother aspect of it as well is
Yeah.
big on my end.
Right.
Seeing that dynamic of the older brother to the younger brother. I grew up that way. I've dealt with that with D, and not everything, but a lot of the things that they deal with. So I love that. The show is fantastic. It's written really well. Obviously, Robby's on it. That's amazing. But for real, go watch it. It's a great show. Go watch it. It's an amazing show. So Netflix rated exactly where it needs to be.
Yep.
Brother, thank you. This was amazing. It is amazing that not only are you on this show, but now that we're bringing the show to Cultura Talks, but also that it's here, that we're doing this, and we're doing this together. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
From inception to where we're at right now, within 6 months is insane. It's crazy. We talk about it all the time. So thank you for being on the show. We appreciate it, and just only good things for Cultura, for you, for us, for Dad Tribe, and thank you, man. Appreciate it.
God bless. Thank
Yeah,
you,
brother.
guys.